Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. So last night, the update to the PTR for patch 5.3 happened, and as I said, lots of content was applied. We've had 4 new scenarios added. The Battle on the High Seas one, the Ragefire Chasm one. We've got this one, which is the Dark Art of Pandaria, and then finally we had Blood in the Snow. Also, Battlefield Barons is official. That is actually the name of the quest, which starts the whole area off. So I can now bring you all of that. I've filmed all of that. And on top of that, there's a little storyline that goes on in Pandaria itself, because of course Battlefield Barons just takes place in the Northern Barons. But first things first, I'm going to bring you this scenario, which is the Dark Heart of Pandaria. And one thing I haven't done for an awful long time is have a massive rant. And I feel it may happen in this video. Because all of the 4 new scenarios... Now, I've managed to play 3 so far. I've played this one. I've played Blood in the Sand. I've played some of the High Seas one. I say some because it's completely bugged unless you're a mage at the minute. You can't go from ship to ship. But I played enough of it to get a gist of what's going to be going on. And then the final one, which I haven't done, is the Ragefire Chasm one, which one of my friends has done. And they've given me their current feedback. I can't judge for myself until, of course, I play it. But I've been told not to get too excited. So what's going on in this? Well, everything that seems to have been learned in Troves of the Thunder King seems to have been automatically forgotten in patch 5.3. I don't quite understand. Now, you can't do another Troves of the Thunder King. You can't just do another single player loot scenario. That's not going to work. But what I was especially excited about with it was the fact that it seemed to completely think outside the box for what scenarios had been. To me, there'd been a generic bunch of rubbish. If you follow my videos, you'll know exactly my thoughts on scenarios. Complete waste of time. Blizzard have given no effort to dungeons in this expansion, and scenarios are just one long kill quest, the vast majority. It's just not good content at all. And then you team that up with the fact that the game's just completely saturated with dailies. I'm just grateful that some of the design team did those wonderful things like all the rare elites, all the elites that are hidden away, the archaeology stuff, just things like that to distract me away from these awful, awful pieces of crap content. Because they are. I'm sorry, but they are. Now, Dark Heart of Pandaria hasn't learned anything from Troves of the Thunder King, who I can't imagine they've been done by the same person. Surely not. Because this reverts back to the same old crap that we had at the beginning of Mists. You know, your whole Greenstone Village and Crypt of the Forgotten King, where they serve no purpose. Where's the hook? I did a feedback post for Blizzard on the scenarios on the forums, and one of the things I was saying was where is the hook? You know, at what point, for me just going around killing stuff, am I meant to be saying, yeah, that's great? That's brilliant. That's awesome. And yes, I am disguised as a goblin. If you do this as the Alliance, then it disguises you as a goblin. And yes, I am constantly green because Fire and Brimstone is bugged at the minute. When you use it once, it just stays on you. Now, it looked like the PTR was going to fall apart for a minute. It's so rocky, but you've got to forgive that because it is a test round. Anywho, I digress. Let's get back to what I was talking about. Everything that seems to have been learnt from Troves of the Thunder King, they said, look, right, let's think outside the box. Right, we'll turn the scenario from a 3-player to a single player. We'll turn it into a loot-based scenario where they've got to go around against the clock, either collect as much loot as possible or decide to run the risk of going through to the end and killing the final boss for maybe an additional reward. And also, of course, you get the achievement for completing the scenario as well. So it's up to you as the player how you decide to run that scenario, and it's brilliant. And I look forward every week to reset to do Troves of the Thunder King. It's not just because I'm going to get 400 gold or something like that. It's because the anticipation of what should I do this week? Should I just go on another loot run? Should I go and try and do the boss? And it just puts those little ooh things in your head. Are the keys at the end going to unlock a nice little 502 epic for me? There's lots there to be excited about. This kind of crap. Oh, God. Honest to goodness, after I ran this once, I wouldn't be bothered to run it again. The only way that would get me back in here is the fact that heroic scenarios, this is just the normal, this is not the heroic version. Heroic scenarios are offering so much valor for completion. They've changed it up once more. Now, for completing a heroic scenario on a flat rate valor, you get 120 for the completion. Brilliant. And then if you do the bonus objective during the heroic scenario, because remember, they've all got a bonus objective, then you get an extra 30. That's it, just 30 valor. So to be quite frank, I'd be happy to run heroic scenarios all day to get my valor cap, and not be particularly bothered whether or not we manage to get the bonus, because it's only 30. You know, I'll take 120 and miss out on 30 every day of the week. So I said also in the feedback to Blizzard, it'd be a lot better if you made it 90 for a completion and 60 for doing the bonus reward, which again will still add up to 150, but that in itself would make people, I think, care a lot more about making sure they got the bonus objective complete. A lot of people can take or leave 30 valor if they're going to get 120 guaranteed. But if you're going to get 90 and a dangling carrot of 60 valor, I think that changes things up. I think that will promote a lot more cooperation. So we're in the third stage of this scenario, if you haven't fallen asleep already. And I wouldn't blame you if you had. And we've got to just go round picking up these artifacts. Now, there are some gold, inverted commas, artifacts around the place. If you pick one of those up, you'll get a debuff on you, although it's not technically a debuff. And it says if you get a comparative one, so if I picked up a vase, then it could say to me, oh, go and pick up a scroll. And if you pick up those two, then it will increase your artifacts by plus 15 instead of plus 1, because every artifact you pick up just gives you plus 1. So it's just like 250 of these running around. I am bored off my flipping zebra. That's how bored I am. And I'm green, I'm angry, I'm the Incredible Hulk. I think this fire and brimstone thing actually might be very apt for what's going on in this scenario. Because there's what you've seen so far in this scenario is just me going around killing a load of mobs, and then me going around running into artifacts until we picked up 150, 250. 150? I wish. That would have been 149 too many, probably. So that's done and dusted. Time for stage 4, and guess what stage 4 is? Yes, we're just killing a few more incidental ads. None of them really have anything of interest. Some of them burn down ridiculously easy. So where's the mechanics of this scenario? Where are the added mechanics that make this scenario different from just doing a group quest? There's nothing. And the reason why I say that is because you can't take group quests out of the game, put scenarios into the game, and say it's something new and different. Because quite clearly it's not. It's just a rebranding. So this scenario, I was livid last night. Not Nerd Rage livid, not Francis livid. I do love that guy's videos. Boogie. Little shout out to Boogie because he's fantastic. Not Francis livid. But just so frustrated is probably the better term. That Blizz have reverted back to crap. And I thought with the way that the Trials of the Thunder King had been done, I fell for the trap. Stupid me. Okay, stupid me. I fell for the trap, and I thought the beginning to learn about scenarios, and this to me is 5 steps backwards. Just absolute 5 steps backwards. So there, we've just killed a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing to get through to the final phase. So we've done a bunch of nothing, followed by a bunch of nothing, followed by a bunch of nothing. And then we have this guy inside, who looks amazing. Looks like a Mogu, but looks like a human Mogu. Looks like a Titan human Mogu, which is quite cool. Now, this is the final boss, a big possessed goblin. Woo! Yeah, my goodness. I just wonder in the meeting when they created this scenario, they had all the people together and they just went, right, so we get to the final boss. Actually, sorry. Let's go back to the board meeting. Remember the board meetings I've done skits on before? Tell you what, Bob. Here, I got something for you right here, Bob. We get to the end of the boring scenario, yeah? Okay. They've gone, they've just killed stuff. They're ready to fucking blow their brains out. Do you hear me, Bob? Yeah, I hear you. So we get to the end, and then we go, Major boss time, big goblin! Let's do it! That must have been the most biggest anticlimactical boss in the Heart of Pandaria. You're gonna fight a possessed goblin. And there's nothing really dramatic about the fight either. Just loads and loads and loads of ads spawn. So all you got to do is just AoE. AoE, you'd be absolutely fine. Look, none of us are in a difficulty. Yes, this is the normal and not the heroic version. But that was it. And then big guys decided to stand up and look rather cool. Oof. Have you got a feeling we might be fighting him in patch 5.4? I do. So that's the scenario over, and we're going to get a bit of storyline now. And I use the term storyline very weakly, because this is how the goblins get pissed off with the orcs. Remember, the orcs are basically pissing off every faction so far. You've got Bane Bloodhoof, who's basically spying on Garrosh, staying close to him, but basically spying on him for Vol'jin. You got Vol'jin in 5.3, who's completely removed the Dark Spear from the Horde. That is official. The Dark Spear are removed from the Horde in patch 5.3. Vol'jin has pulled them out. But we'll get to all that when I do the Battlefield Barons video. We then have the Goblins, because they didn't get paid properly for this discovery in Dark Art of Pandaria. They intimate that that's it. We're gonna pull out the Horde as well. That is as weak as the Goblin story gets. Ay chihuahua. So all in all, disappointed doesn't cover it. Genuinely doesn't cover it. What Blizzard seems to have learnt from previous scenarios, they were getting there, seems to all been forgotten. It doesn't get any better with Blood in the Snow. I wish Jon Snow could have been there from Game of Thrones. It just would have added to the miserable effect. Because Jon Snow is just always moody and he's just always sad. I'm Jon Snow and I'm always sad. If he was in that scenario, it would have actually been perfect. But I will bring the others to you later on. I think we're going to change it up and get Battlefield Barons in the video tomorrow to up things. Because there's some cool stuff going on there. And then I'll lower it down. But Saturday, we've got to do something special Saturday because it's my anniversary. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Please do like, even if you hate this scenario, please do like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and also like my Facebook. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.